I'm a local business owner, a local resident, and I'm your MC for the evening. It was pretty hard to get selected as the MC. I was sitting at the corner with a sign that said, "We'll work for food," and here I am. Before we begin this evening, I'd like to start by thanking the event chair. Lorraine Welk and her committee put on such a wonderful event, and part of Lorraine's committee were Jan Dean, Marty Cheek, Leonette Stafford, Stephen Stratton, Marianne Takersley, and Edelita Keene. Now you'll notice we're having a mystery box raffle. And as you came in the door, you were probably asked if you'd like to participate. Each of the boxes have a number inside, and those numbers correspond to the sheets of white paper in the back to help you identify which prize that you won. Be sure to pick up your prizes at the end of the evening so that all of our sponsors can be recognized during this evening. If you haven't bought your raffle ticket yet, as you're going through the dinner line, stop off and pick up a raffle ticket. This year, we're doing things just a little bit differently. You're noticing that we have... Excuse me, just a second. I think we might have a problem. Marty, could you do me a favor and check on that for me? Okay, so Marty Cheek is the 2011 Man of the Year. I was told by Marty that he got special privileges with the Morgan Hill Police Department, so he'll take care of everything. Hey, Larry, could you do me a favor? Larry Talbot, our videographer in the back here, could you poke out the window and see what Marty's up to out there? Let's kind of see what's going on. I think Marty will have this taken care of. Maybe Marty's time up with the police department ended at the end. It looks like he's having a little bit of problems. All right, Larry, is he coming back in? All right, well, let's see what's going on with Marty. Marty, what happened?
You know, last year when I gave the Man of the Year speech, 40 seconds overtime, Officer Pennington gave me this ticket. It's so embarrassing.
For all of you folks who are giving presentations tonight, take heed. Officer Pennington's waiting around the corner. And that's going to be one of the things that will be a little different about this evening, is we're going to be taking care of things a little differently through video. And through video, we'll be able to cut some of the presentations down to size, and your honorees have already practiced their presentations and prepared in advance. So we're going to make sure that you folks get out in a short and concise time. But I would like to point over here to the left, the two gentlemen that were playing music, Dos Guys. Please give a round of applause for them. The other folks that I'd like to recognize are our crew here, the video crew from Studio 82 and Morgan Hill Access Television. The beautiful thing about this crew is no matter how many blemishes you have on your face or what you might be doing, they always make you look good. They put you in the best light and make sure that you're never in this awkward situation. And that's what I like to think about the guys at Morgan Hill Access Television. Give a round of applause for our pranksters out there. Tonight we are having some wonderful food by Mama Mia's. And Mama Mia's staff, there's somebody in the back of the room. If you can raise your hand. All right, and we have somebody up here in the front of the room, and they're going to make sure that they escort each of the tables out so you can be fed in a very timely manner. We're going to be having tables from the front of the room leave through this door, and the tables from the back of the room leave through the back door, and then you'll all be re-entering through the center area. While y'all are eating dinner, those guys will be here to entertain us. Have a good evening. I'd like to thank our contributing sponsors for the evening, the Morgan Hill Times, Guillermo Winery, Mike Silverstein, and Boy Scout Troop 730. If you'll notice the nice arrangement that's at the center of every table, we'll be raffling off that arrangement. You should see an envelope on your table with a list of numbers. Contribute $5 to that envelope, take that centerpiece home. The 2012 Celebrate Morgan Hill Awards Dinner. I'd like to ask that we start our evening by recognizing the colors. So if you can all please stand at attention with me. Stand at your seats. Go ahead. Feel free. Stand up. As soon as we're all standing, we'll have the color guard present the colors. And if I can ask the wait staff to make sure that you maintain clear of the center aisle. Please stand at attention for the presentation of the colors. Thank you. Earlier this morning, you can take your seats. Earlier this afternoon, I was joking around about how I was selected to be the MC for this event. But in fact, it is a true honor to be here in front of you today, to be here with the other honorees, and to be here with some very special people. So I would like to introduce some folks, some honorees that I would like to recognize. And if you all wouldn't mind, if I call your name, please stand so everyone can see you. I'd like to recognize our mayor, Steve Tate. City Council members, Marilyn Levers and Steve Carr. Our city manager, Ed Tweez. County Supervisor, Mike Wasserman. Morgan Hill Unified School District Board of Trustees, Ron Wolf, Kathleen Sullivan, Bob Benevito, and Claudia Rossi. The Gavilan College Board of Trustees, Laura Perry, Tom Breen, and Mike Davenport. And our police chief, David Sween. Celebrate Morgan Hill is an annual awards program that honors individuals and businesses that display an outstanding and unselfish commitment to our community. The Celebrate Morgan Hill Awards has had several names, including Salute, Showcase, and just plain old awards. The award ceremony began in 1958, honoring Richard Weichert, our first Citizen of the Year. Mary Privatoni was the first woman to be honored as Citizen of the Year in 1965. And in 1974, the Man and Women of the Year awards began. This year, we will present awards for Student of the Year, Educator of the Year, Business of the Year, Woman of the Year, Man of the Year, and Chamber Volunteer of the Year. Before we recognize this year's honorees, would the past recipients please rise? our Student of the Year, Educator of the Year, Business of the Year, Woman of the Year, and Man of the Year. And I will name them. Welcome back. Before we move into the honorary portion of the evening, I would like to call up some very important people, and that's the Board of Directors for the Chamber of Commerce. Please, if you're on the outgoing board, please join me up here on stage. If you were on last year's board, even if you're staying, join me up here on stage. If your name is Jeff Burrows, please join me.
He's on his way. He's on it.
Let's give a round of applause to the Board of Directors. And Jeff, as your board comes up, would you mind saying a few words and introducing these fine folks to the rest of us?
Thank you very much, Jim. A few words. Chris said I had to do this really rapidly. This has been a phenomenal year as far as the Chamber is concerned. We've struggled through both a hard economic time as well as difficulties that every organization like this has. And I think we've survived very well, and a lot of it has to do with the leadership of the people that are behind me. So I would really like to have you give a round of applause when I finish the list. And I have to have notes because if I turn around and look at them, there's some people missing, et cetera, et cetera. So my most important advocate in this entire event as I took on being chairman of this board was Brian Sullivan, the past chair. So Brian, I want to thank you very much for that effort. Supporting me also in those areas were Miles Takeda from Heritage Bank, Terry Morama from Intero Real Estate and Air for Pause, Adelaide King from South Valley Bank. Oh, wait a minute. That's not South Valley. Santa Barbara Bank and Trust. Marion Tankersley from Intero Real Estate. Jan Dean, who will be honored later for all of her contributions from Prepaid Legal. And the incoming chair and the lady of the lady of the year, or woman of the year, excuse me, for last year, Lorraine Welk. We also have several people who were not able to make it tonight: Stephen Stratton, Juan Pistor, Dave Hauser, Chris Bryant, Kelva Kumar, and Rosemary Kamai, as well as Rich Ferrata. So to those people, we really want to hold a special thanks and applause. Guys, thank you very much.
And if you're staying on the board, don't leave. And do we have a ceremonial gavel that can be passed? All right, let me take the ceremonial gavel from you. To take part of the next part of this evening, I need the mayor. Mayor Steve Tate, would you please come up? We need someone to swear in this new board. And please present, Jeff. Outgoing now.
Good evening. No, that's not right. Great evening. Great evening. It really is. Great evening, great event in a great city. And it's a really special city. We live in Morgan Hill. We think it's really special. And you know why it's special? It's because of you guys. It's because of the people that live here. We're going to celebrate a few of you this evening, and that's a wonderful thing, but I know that we saw the past recipients stand up. There's so many of them, and there's a whole bunch of future recipients in this room as well, and I think everybody in this room contributes to Morgan Hill to make it the place that it is, the special place that it is, the great place that it is. So I just want to thank everybody in the room for the spirit of Morgan Hill. And I have the privilege tonight of taking the gavel from Jeff Burris, but I'm going to present the gavel to Jeff Burris as his outgoing chair of the Chamber of Commerce. There he is. And we're going to make a transition here because it's my privilege to swear in the new board. And you know, I've been talking about the great people of Morgan Hill, the volunteers. Well, the board is a volunteer organization, and they are just examples. In fact, the Volunteer of the Year is on the board. So, I mean, it's an example of the kind of contributions that they make. So, board, I'm going to read a statement, and I hope at the end of my statement that you will say yes, okay? Do you solemnly swear to represent and support the Morgan Hill Chamber of Commerce and the Visitors Center, and will you do your best to assist in accomplishing the Chamber's mission, which is to provide and develop a strong economic climate in Morgan Hill? Yes, all right, unanimous, all right. Okay, you're now all officially the 2012 officers and directors of the board. And all of you except for Lorraine, please return to your seats and we'll have Lorraine stay. This is kind of a symbolic thing. I have her gavel to hand to her because she's gonna, you know, this is a bunch of leaders that are on this board, and she is gonna be the leader of the leaders, the extraordinary kind of a leadership role that she's going to take. So, Lorraine, good luck, and I think you'll have a fantastic year, and I'm going to hand you the gavel so that you can now assume your role as chairman of the board. Congratulations.
Thank you, Steve. Wow, this is quite an honor. I don't know how I got here. I don't know what I said. I must have said yes. But here I am. It's going to be an exciting year. We have great goals set. I have a wonderful team behind me. I have to thank Jeff Burrows. He did an incredible job leading us last year. We had through difficult times, but we're here, we're successful, and we're ready to present partnerships and affiliations with Morgan Hill community and organizations. I have a great incoming board. I wish they had stayed up here, but I want to introduce Phil Couchet from Recology. We have Jason Cabral, who is our new treasurer. He is with Ramada Inn. I've got Tim Hennessy. He's a student at Gavilan College. He represents the Library and Arts Commission. Who am I forgetting? Jason Stebbins, Guild Mortgage. He's heading up the membership committee. Kathy Eskandari, Westmont, Morgan Hill. She's also on membership. Scott Wilson, he is going to be Environmental Affairs, Santa Clara Valley Water District. We have 6 incoming and a team of 15, and that's our team for 2012. Very exciting year to come. Thank you so much, and Jim is going to take over before I get the chief of police up here.
Thank you, Lorraine. As you're going to find out tonight from some of our presenters and honorees, the Chamber of Commerce is more than just an organization for businesses. It's an organization for the community. We're going to start off this year's honoree ceremony a little bit differently than we've done in the past. What we're going to be doing is the presenters that are going to be addressing the honorees' contributions have been videotaped, and we'll be presenting those videotapes right above here. After that presentation, we'll be able to have the presenters come up here and receive their award. So please, listen while Matt Berry, history teacher at Live Oak High School, shares the accomplishments of our 2012 Student of the Year.
Eunice is a pretty amazing young lady. I got to know her last year as her advanced placement United States history instructor and was perpetually amazed by her intellect, continually setting curves on my tests. But not only as an academic, I've got to see the passion that she has for helping others. When you talk to her about tutoring that she does with kindergarten students and first grade students, you see she just lights up. It becomes very evident that it's not something she simply does because it looks good on a transcript, but it's something that defines her as a young lady, and it's what she's passionate about, which is really great to see in a young person. Another thing that Eunice has amazed me by, she's decided to challenge AP tests for which our school does not have courses in. She's taking human geography, she's taking government and comparative politics, as well as psychology. Normally, I would be very apprehensive about a student who is going to be teaching themselves highly detailed and difficult material. But with Eunice, I have no doubt that she's, going to excel at those, and she lights up when she talks about her plans for the future and how she simply wants to help others. Eunice, when you asked me to present this award for you, I felt truly honored to represent our school in saying thank you for what you've done here at Live Oak High School. I'm truly proud of you, and I really look forward to seeing what you do in the future. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our 2012 Student of the Year, Miss Eunice Kim.
Eunice, on behalf of the Morgan Hill Chamber of Commerce, I would like to present you the Student of the Year Award. We have so many presentations here. We're going to collect them and give them to you at the end of the evening. Okay?
Good evening, everyone. Okay, so to be honest, I had every intention of coming up here and just winging it. I thought I might listen to what people before me said in accepting their award and just kind of following what they did. Unfortunately, Jim over here told me that I was going first, which means that I don't get to follow anyone's example. And so I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the phrase, but the kids on the playground say something like, first the worst, second the best, and third the nerd. And I thought as Student of the Year, it would have been more appropriate for me to have been third the nerd, but I guess it just didn't work out that way. And speaking of nerds, and I say that with the most positive connotation possible, I read an article recently in Time magazine about students in Korea. And from my understanding, they all have private tutors, bulletproof work ethics, and that constant fear that if you're not ahead, then you're behind. One of my visiting cousins from Korea actually told me that she stays at her school studying until 10 p.m. at night. I can barely make it at my school until 3 in the afternoon. So firstly, I would like to thank my parents for immigrating to America. And secondly, I would just like to say that though these students work very, very hard and have some of the highest test scores in the world, I don't think they really truly represent the scope of what students can accomplish. And so for us to imagine the possibilities, we must realize that students aren't found only in the classroom. Being a student means that you have a thirst for knowledge, that you're willing to let others mold you. The best student isn't necessarily the one with the highest GPA, the most hours of community service, or the most leadership experiences. The best students know how to listen and follow, but they also know how to utilize the information they've learned to create their own way. I see students on the turf, on the stage under bright lights, sitting behind easels and behind instruments. I see them listening obediently to their teachers and coaches, but I also see them disregarding limits. I see them imagining and creating. And I see students like this at Live Oak Sobrado, and which is why I would like to acknowledge now all of the brilliant students that could have easily been standing up here in my place. It's remarkable how talented my peers are. They've inspired me just as much as any of my teachers, which is why, as you applaud, I hope you'll be thinking of all of the great students in our community. I'm proud to represent them tonight. Thank you.
Please listen while Laura Perry, President of the Board of Trustees at Gavilan College, shares the accomplishments of our 2012 Educator of the Year.
Hi everyone, I'm Laura Perry. I'm the current President of the Board of Trustees of Gavilan College, and it's with great pleasure that I'm here this evening to introduce to you Dr. Stephen Kinsella, the Educator of the Year for Morgan Hill Chamber of Commerce for 2012. Steve's been our president since early 2002 and has just done a phenomenal job in leading the college through really, really tough financial times, keeping students #1 always with every decision that he makes. He's focused on the goal, and my personal opinion is I think he gets that from being a Marine. Before he got into the education field, Steve was a U.S. Marine in Desert Shield and Desert Storm. He brings his unique business thinking along with what it takes to have been a Marine. He's also a marathoner. I believe in 1 year he ran 9 marathons in 1 year. So he's totally focused on the goal and has brought all of those elements into being a president of the school and being able to really give our students a lot with very, very little funding. Steve's been married to his great wife, Linda. She's just beautiful, and we all love Linda. She's the dancer in the family. For 32 years, they have 3 children, have made Morgan Hill their home. Steve has certainly, as you all know, I'm sitting here in the Morgan Hill site, has made Gavilan College the college of choice for our community, and we're really looking forward to many more years of him being our president. And with that, I'd like to say congratulations, Steve, from the entire board and the entire Gavilan community.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our Educator of the Year, Mr. Steve Kinsella.
Steve, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, it is our privilege to recognize you as the Educator of the Year and for 2012. I also want to tell you that each one of our honorees will be receiving certificates from the City of Morgan Hill, the Congressman, congressional recognition from Moaning, from the State Assembly, also from the Senate, from Senator Sam Blakesley's office, and from the Board of Supervisors, Mike Wasserman's office. So each one of our honorees will be receiving that.
Thank you, Lorraine, and good evening, everybody. And I noticed that Eunice's name was on that, so I think we all get a Eunice pin plaque to take with us. So that's kind of nice. That's a really unique touch. And just my luck, I have to follow the overachievers that always, they nail it. And then they innocently walk away. Like, go ahead, take that. Eunice, great job. I do want to start off by acknowledging the Chamber's all of the Chamber's work in making this event possible every year, and for taking the time to recognize a few people in the community that have done things that have really made the community a special place for all of us. So for the Chamber Board, please continue the great work, and thank you for the award as Educator of the Year. In accepting this award, I can only accept it with you all knowing that this award really isn't so much for my accomplishments as they are for the faculty, the staff, the administrators, and of course, the Board of Trustees at Gavilan College. Would the faculty, administrators, and staff please stand up from Gavilan? They all get 2 minutes too, so you'll get to talk to them. Before I go, I do have to say a few comments, obviously, about the Board of Trustees. I've had the pleasure of working with pretty much the same group of board members for the last 9 years. And this is a group that is completely in sync with the communities and what is necessary in terms of communicating the community's needs in a way that staff and I, the college, understand what they're trying to accomplish. So it's, I think it's pretty subtle in the messages that we receive at times, but there is no doubt from anyone on the campus that this board is student-focused. It has developed a student policy, one of the many things that sets Gavilan College apart. They've established a student policy on student success, and that has provided Gavilan the opportunity to present that policy to the Accrediting Commission, and it will now be used as a model throughout the state and the Western region. So the board has really done some fantastic things to help separate us from the rest of the folks in the pack. And lastly, certainly not least, it seems a little ironic that I would be getting the Educator of the Year award because I met my wife working as a security guard part-time in Honolulu, of all places, Waikiki, downtown Waikiki, because I needed money to go to college. Well, the Marine Corps paid okay. It didn't cover books, and it covered most of the tuition, but not all of it. So as it was, I met my wife 34 years ago or so. We were both children then, of course, and we've matured a bit since then. But Linda, thank you very much. It's been a tremendous journey together, and we have 3 great kids, Jessica, Mark, and Felicia, and education has been a huge part of our family. It has allowed me to progress and to succeed in what I chose as my final career path. And for all of you parents out there and other folks that have involvement with educational institutions, I really encourage you to do what you can to help the governor and the legislature get the message as to what is happening in our educational institutions. We'll always do the best with whatever we have. And with that, I'll just leave you with a big thank you, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, please listen while Chris Giussiana, President and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, shares the accomplishments of our 2012 Chamber Volunteer of the Year.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to introduce the Volunteer of the Year, Jan Dean. Jan has been an active volunteer in Morgan Hill for many years. Jan works with a variety of nonprofit organizations such as the Morgan Hill Chamber of Commerce and Visitor Center, Morgan Hill Rotary Club, Air for Paws, Leadership Morgan Hill, Community Solutions, Rebecca's Children's Services, United Way, Better Business Bureau of Santa Clara County, YMCA, Community Senior Center, Mission City Community Fund, Leadership Santa Clara, Citizens Police Academy of Santa Clara, and the Santa Clara Chamber of Commerce, just to name a few. Jan's efforts to have each organization successful shows in her hours of dedication. Jan has been a board member of the Morgan Hill Chamber of Commerce and Visitor Center since 2008. During that time, she has held the position of secretary, co-chair of the programs committee, food chair for the Taste of Morgan Hill and Noble Barbecue Cook-Off, committee member for Celebrate Morgan Hill in the past years. Jan's can-do attitude has made each event a very successful one. Jan was voted Rotarian of the Month for her work with the dictionary program. Working with St. Catherine's Church, funds were raised to send dictionaries to a newly built school in a remote part of Africa. A more recently formed nonprofit, Air for Paws, benefited from Jan's willingness to assist with a worthy cause by her volunteering at fundraising events. This enabled the organization to raise funds for oxygen masks for animals on emergency vehicle responding to fires. A graduate of Leadership Morgan Hill 2008, during this class, 2 community areas were addressed by the class. A committee member of Community Solutions, fundraiser and awareness lunch, Helping Hands, Healing Hearts. Jan works with others putting on this event. Jan has the personality people can't say no to. When Jan asks for donations, the fundraisers, the community gives. Jan has a heart for giving and for listening. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our 2012 Chamber Volunteer of the Year, Ms. Jan Dean.
Jan, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, we are thrilled to present you with the Volunteer Award. Our plaque is here for you. I'm going to leave it up here with all your other awards.
And I'm the nerd. I'm going to start out by answering a question I'm always being asked. Yes, I do remember Jan and Dean. They are 2 guys that were hot stuff in the 60s. And no, I was not named after them. Now that we can get past that, let me continue by sharing how honored I am to receive this award. The best way I can express my gratitude is to share with you some of the fantastic organizations that I've helped support here in the city. I joined the Chamber to meet people, promote my business. Did any of you join for that reason too? Well, they got the best of me because what actually happened is I ended up becoming a volunteer. But I could not be happier with how it's all turned out. The Chamber has so many events to help businesses and the community at large. And I have enjoyed being part of many of them. Some of the events are monthly, others take many weeks and many people to be successful. Like our celebration tonight, the Noble Barbecue, Taste of Morgan Hill. These events are fun for all and bring people into our community that benefits our local businesses. I'm also a member of the Rotary Club of Morgan Hill, which is a commitment to be of service locally and worldwide. Through my volunteering, I'm proud to be a tiny part of helping to stamp out polio in all except 4 countries in the world. This year, our club took on a project to purchase and distribute beautiful dictionaries to all of the 3rd grade students in the district. A Rotary member personally presented the book to each child. After handing out the dictionary at a couple of schools, I was in the grocery store, walked by a smiling boy who said, "Mom, she's the one who gave me my dictionary." Made my day. I'm extremely interested in helping the social fabric of our community as well. Community Solutions has been and is a source of survival for adults and children who are victims of horrendous circumstances and illnesses. Hearing the personal story of a woman who found a new life saved from human trafficking, a man saved from drug, alcohol abuse, and mental illness, will bring a tear to anyone's eye, and it definitely has for me. Rebecca's Children's Services has been in the business over 100 years and currently houses children in need of help. It came to our attention that the South Valley Theater was having a play during the Christmas season, which all performers bring children. We got permission from Rebecca's to raise funds to take the students to a matinee of that performance. Just by asking our community for donations, we acquired funds to take all of the kids to the play, had McDonald's lunches for each. In addition, we presented cash to Rebecca's to fund additional outings for the kids. Seeing the kids enjoying their experience is a pleasure I'll have for my life. It's not just the business and social aspect of our community members that I enjoy helping, it is our furry friends as well. Air for Paws is an organization that is putting resuscitation kits on the first responders like police, fire, animal control vehicles for the survival of animals, not just dogs and cats. At our local pond, a goose was being tormented by the bigger guys and was belly up in the water. The animal control officer in the area used the kit on him and did revive him. Imagine, on a goose. That would touch your heart as well. When I joined the chamber, I thought the rewards would be financial. Well, I found the rewards from volunteering more than just financial. They are the joy and courage that keep on giving. We all understand that it is important to know a lot of people in business. What I have learned is how important it is to be known as a person of integrity. This honor tonight helps me realize that I'm on the right track.
Please bring your attention back to the screen as we hear Jennifer Tate, our 2006 Woman of the Year, share the accomplishments of our 2012 Business of the Year.
I'm honored tonight to be able to introduce Dave Domenichini, the owner of the Morgan Hill Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year, DR Domenichini Construction. In 2002, Gina Varela and Dave Domenichini met. Gina, being an active member of the Morgan Hill community already, brought Dave Domenichini down and introduced him around. After she took her Morgan Hill leadership class, Dave Domenichini decided he would do the same thing. With that class, he learned more about Morgan Hill than a great many of us know. What he learned it taught him that he was going to be here for the rest of his life. And because of that, he felt that he needed to become an active part of the community, and that's exactly what he's done. Dave Domenichini and I serve together on the Morgan Hill Historical Society Board of Directors. He's not only given of his personal time, but he's given of his company's time. His employees enter into anything he asks them to do to help maintain the house and the grounds with as much enthusiasm as Dave has. He also has been very actively involved with the classic car show, The Taste of Morgan Hill. He has been a sponsor for a great many years and is looking forward to continuing to be on the committee to make the classic car show bigger and better, because classic cars is one of his passions. It is wonderful to have Dave Domenichini part of our community. It is wonderful to be able to say to Dave that you now are part of the reason that Morgan Hill is the great community that it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you tonight Dave Domenichini, owner of DR Domenichini Construction, Business of the Year.
Our 2012 Business of the Year, DR Domenichini Construction, David Domenichini.
Dave, again, on behalf of the Morgan Hill Chamber, we are thrilled with your Business of the Year, and we want to present you with the Chamber's plaque, and I'll leave it here, and you can pick it up at the end of the evening.
First of all, I want to thank Jennifer Tate for her kind words. Anybody who's had the privilege of working with her knows what a terrific person she is, so thank you. So people often ask, what's the most common question that I get asked in the line of work? Is it how much does a kitchen remodel cost, or maybe how much a bathroom remodel cost, or the price per square foot of a room addition? But actually, no, the most common question is, how do you pronounce your name? So I just want to tell everybody it's not Domenici construction, it's not dementia construction, or my personal favorite, Domenicinki construction. So I'm just saying, nobody had a problem with Jan Dean, okay? That's all I'm saying. I really want to thank the Morgan Hill Chamber of Commerce, not just for bestowing us with this award, but for all that they do for the community. You know, we're being honored here today for the things that we've done, but it's actually pretty easy because it's such a great community. You know, there's the movie As Good as It Gets, where Jack Nicholson says, you make me want to be a better man, or she says, you make me want to be a better man. Well, the Morgan Hill community makes me want to be a better citizen. Until about 5 years ago, I lived in a large city, about 20 miles north of here, that shall remain nameless. Go Sharks! You know, I never felt connected, and I never really felt compelled to get involved like I have here in Morgan Hill. And I must say, one big reason is for Leadership Morgan Hill. I am a proud graduate of class of 2007, and I know there's several people here from class of 2007. Yeah, rocks. It's just a phenomenal organization. Within a matter of months, I knew the inner workings of the social, local governments and public safety and economic development and so on. If you haven't already gone through leadership and these are things that you like, I strongly encourage you to do it. In fact, it was Leadership Morgan Hill that got me involved with the Historical Society. It was our last day at our leadership class, and there were volunteer opportunities abound all over the place. There was pamphlets, and I went over and picked up a pamphlet that said Historical Society, because I'm kind of a history buff. And I looked it over, and I set it down, and didn't think much of it. And then about a week later, Roger Knopf calls me up and says, hey, David, I understand you're interested in joining the Historical Society. Well, I'm thinking, did I fill out a form? You know, how did he get this? But he was observant, and he was right. And so it's just, you know, that's a great organization, and that's been a lot of fun. So, you know, anybody that wants to know the history of the city, I would encourage you to join. $25. What does $25 buy you today? Maybe a couple dozen tacos at Taco Bell. Maybe a nice bottle of wine, or you and your entire family can have a full year membership to the Historical Society. So I encourage you to do that. And not only will you be helping out a great organization, nonprofit, non-governmental organization, but you will get newsletters and you get the annual July barbecue, which rocks. So, to show our appreciation for being honored for Business of the Year, let me see if I got this right, DR Domenichini Construction, we want to do a community outreach event, and we're just kind of starting to think about this right now. We don't have any definite ideas, but the general gist would be we want to find a person or a family or organization that might be in need of some construction services. And from there, we want to do a fundraising event and pool our resources with some of our subcontractors and maybe some community people, and see if we can make a difference. So again, the ball is just rolling on this, so stay tuned for more details. But if anybody knows any good recipient, please let us know, because we're serious about this and we're aggressively pursuing it. And now for the thank yous. I want to thank all of our wonderful customers, many of which are here today. I mean, I love my job. I'm truly blessed to be able to meet with people and make their visions become reality. I want to thank my employees, and I actually don't like that word employees, because we're more of a team, and I want to thank our team. you know, we all have a common goal to do what's right for the customer and have fun while doing it, and I think we do that. So I want to thank them. I want to thank leadership, of course, Morgan Hill, for allowing me to get to know this wonderful community. And I want to thank my lovely wife, Gina, for putting up with all the many late night hours that I've been doing. And finally, I would like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for their support in helping us both professionally and personally, and for allowing us the opportunity to give a little bit back to the community. So, thank you.
So Marty, how are we doing on time? All right, they're still out there waiting, right? Yeah, all right, so we're doing pretty good. I don't think we're gonna have any citations tonight. Well, let's now move into the Man of the Year and the Woman of the Year. So please listen while Adam and Laura Roscotto, community volunteers, share the accomplishments of our 2012 Man of the Year.
We're proud to introduce Mario Banuelos as Morgan Hill's Man of the Year. Mario is a founding member of the Morgan Hill Community Foundation and today serves as the board chair and chair of the Alliance Committee that helps diverse groups in Morgan Hill to prosper. Mario helps to oversee Philanthropy Day to honor local nonprofits, and he volunteers as webmaster for many of them. For years, Mario has been active in the parish council at St. Catherine's on working on social justice issues, particularly for immigrants. And now he's affiliated with PAC, People Acting in Community Together, to explore concerns which require the community's attention.
Recently, Mario was involved in Project Roadmap, which sponsored a conference for Morgan Hill middle schoolers and their parents to offer and inspire a path to college. Mario's professional career with the City of San Jose and his partnership with his wife, Fawn Myers, assistant principal at Sobrato, give him a comprehensive knowledge of city and school challenges that drive his desire to help resolve racial and economic equality issues in our community and within our schools. Mario best represents servant leadership, people who serve their communities in any capacity required, and who are collaborative leaders who serve as bridge builders between diverse communities. As a guest columnist for the Morgan Hill Times, Mario discusses, with respect and grace, the plight of day workers, farm workers, students, families, and even urban professionals.
Mario appears to have struck the perfect balance between volunteerism, his work, and his family. He remains involved in each of his 4 children's educational and personal pursuits. His pride in his children is evident through his stories of their achievement. Finally, Mario's community work is delivered with humor and generosity, which make it a joy to work with him in any endeavor benefiting Morgan Hill and worthy of the recognition of Morgan Hill's Man of the Year. Well done, Mario, and well deserved.
Please help me welcome our 2012 Man of the Year, Mario Banuelos.
So pleased to give you this plaque on behalf of the Morgan Hill Chamber of Commerce. Man of the Year, I know Marty is dying because he's given up his crown, but you're gonna have a great year, Mario.
Wow. First of all, I want to thank Adam and Laura for that wonderful introduction. I also want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for this recognition. It is truly an honor to be up here with you tonight. 30 years ago, I was working at a fast food restaurant. One day I walked into the break room and I found a coworker struggling with her physics homework. I sat down next to her and I helped her solve a problem. And we've been solving problems together ever since, my wife. The 3 of our 4 children are here, so it's I am also fortunate to have my parents here. They tell me the value, the example, they tell me by example the value of family, hard work, and giving back to community. My very own mother, Teresa, and my father, Jose Isabel. I recently read the biography of Steve Jobs, and I was surprised to learn that his first car was a two-tone Nash Metropolitan. My wife's first car was a two-tone Nash Metropolitan. Later, to raise money to start Apple Computer, he sold his VW bus. I have a VW bus. In fact, we still have the Metropolitan. The book is filled with many life lessons, and I'd like to share one of them with you. An idea is only part of the equation. Execution is just as important. This community and cultural center was the vision of local residents and city leaders, many of who are here tonight. 10 years ago, we celebrated the grand opening of this center with the Mayor's Ball. On that same day, another idea was launched, the Morgan Hill Community Foundation. The founding members of the foundation envisioned a charitable organization that would enrich the lives of those in the greater Morgan Hill area. It has been the task of our volunteer board of directors to execute that vision. Some ideas are built upon others, some ideas break new ground, and some ideas are just dear to the heart. This past March, I attended a teacher supply giveaway put together by the Teachers Aid Coalition, and I casually walked into a conversation, an idea. Wouldn't it be great to have a youth conference here in Morgan Hill? That encounter led to a meeting of educators, parents, students, and community leaders. When we went around the table introducing ourselves, I noticed that many of us had taken different academic paths. Some used the commuter lane, finished college in 4 years or less. Others, like myself, took the scenic route, skipped a semester here or there. But we all had one thing in common. Someone believed in us. That group became Roadmap, a project of the Morgan Hill Community Foundation, dedicated in providing support and direction to students who are the first in their families to consider college. The youth conference was held in October and was a success. While in high school, Steve Jobs needed parts to build a frequency counter. So he opened the phone book and he called the co-founder of HP, Bill Hewlett, at home. He spoke for 20 minutes with him. Not only did he get his parts, but Mr. Hewlett offered him a job in the summer at HP. Jobs was fortunate to grow up and live in a community that had people and resources to fuel his passion for new ideas that one day would help change the world. Volunteers, students, educators, businesses, and all of you have a role in turning ideas into reality, and I am very proud to be part of this group, part of this community. Thank you.
Recipient had asked if she can go first, as if she was going to be too frail and maybe had to go to bed a little early. Well, for those of you who know this final recipient, she'll be up partying far beyond any time that any of us are awake. Please listen to Claudia Rossi, our board member of Morgan Hill Unified School District, as she shares the accomplishments of our 2012 Woman of the Year.
I met Loretta 8 years ago. She was my son Jeffrey's kindergarten teacher. I was immediately impressed with this gifted and dedicated educator. Loretta is one of those teachers you remember forever. She is intellectually and emotionally intuitive, naturally sensing what each student needs academically and emotionally. When Loretta retired, I called her. I was rather curious to find out how she would be using all her free time. Loretta met with me and she cheerfully told me about the project with which she is involved. It quickly became apparent to me that in the life of Loretta Bonfonte Johnson, there is no free time. The term retirement does not apply here. Her boundless energy serves her well as she plans, coordinates, mentors, educates, and inspires every single day of her life. Her connection to Morgan Hill is profound and passionate. Loretta constantly works to support traditions that make our city so rich through her work with the Historical Society, Teachers Aid Coalition, the Italian Catholic Federation, Live Oak Foundation, Gilroy Art Alliance, El Toro Center recently, the Morgan Hill Federation of Teachers. I need to stop because there is a time limit, but she does all this with great love. Loretta, if you ever wondered whether you make a difference in Morgan Hill, or to paraphrase Denison, if Morgan Hill has a song of you, I, along with all those assembled here tonight, answer with a grateful yes. Morgan Hill truly has a song of you. As for me, I often sing a song of Loretta, for you are truly the first teacher my son Jeffrey ever loved. Congratulations, my dear friend.
Loretta, it's such an honor for me as the 2011 Woman of the Year to give this to you on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce. That's a little bit of sadness that I have. I relinquished my crown. You're going to have a fantastic year.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. After living in this community for 79 years, it would take hours to thank everyone who's influenced my life and made me the person I am today. Instead, I will keep this tribute short by giving my most sincere and loving thanks to all the teachers I've had as a child and adult, all the students and parents I've worked with for 46 years in the Morgan Hill Unified School District, all of the organizations I belong to, all of my close friends, and especially to my cousins, aunts and uncles, grandparents, and my mom and dad. Last but not least, I would like to thank my extremely supportive children and grandchildren. I will continue to be involved with our wonderful community for at least 20 more years. So I guess you're stuck with me until I'm 100 years old. Now let's celebrate.
Well, congratulations to all the honorees. And I'd like to thank the folks that had a part in making tonight so special. First, all the videos that you saw tonight were produced by Martin Cheek. Marty, where are you? Raise your hand. And Laura Schrapp provided some of the photos that you saw in those videos. Also, thank you to Larry Talbot, videographer right on the corner here. And then Bob Snow, one of our producers at the Studio 82. And clicking around here somewhere is Pi Silverstein. Oh, here we go. But I would like to invite somebody up right now who had a very big role in making tonight happen. And bringing a different venue, and I should say a different format to the event, and making sure that you all had a great time. Let me welcome our president of the Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Chris Giussiano.
wow, these lights are bright. I forgot how bright they were. I just want to thank each and every one of you. It's such a pleasure to work here. As most of you know, I live in Gilroy, and they also do this kind of an event. It's a different venue, it's a different group of people, but you know, each and every one of you in this room shares something very special, and that's that you live in a wonderful community with wonderful people that surround you and wonderful supporters. And with that being said, I'd like to thank the people that support me at the Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to thank Diane Sedlick, who is our office manager. And I'd also like to thank Elizabeth Jellison-Rumas, right here. Both of them joined the Chamber in November. And so to put something on like this took an enormous amount of effort. And I really couldn't do it without them. So I really want to thank them. I also want to thank Leonette Stafford and her group of people that put together the decorations on your tables. As most of you know, Leonette was our Volunteer of the Year last year. And she put together the ornaments and things like that. Actually, there's envelopes on the table. So if you would like to purchase them, you can put some money in the envelopes for that. I'd also like to thank each and every one of our dignitaries that came and put together the awards that each one of our recipients received. It's in today's economy, we got told no by some of our state senators and things like that, but you know, the representatives that represent Morgan Hill really came through to us. So thank you so much, County Supervisor Wasserman and his beautiful wife. I'd like to thank Steve Tate and obviously his beautiful wife for putting together all of them. And thank each and every one of you for coming and supporting not only the recipients tonight, but the recipients that you supported throughout the many years. So with that being said, I think I'd also like to thank Jim Corello. Sorry, Jim. I'd also like to thank Jim Corello, our MC for the night. Jim put together this event with precision. It was down to the minute. Let me tell you, we all got like a little thing that said, at 7:45, this is going to happen. At 7:47, this is going to happen. And so thank you so much for keeping this short, precise, and most of all, very, very enjoyable. So I'd like to thank my friends, Dusk Guys, for providing the music. There will be music afterwards, so for those of you who want to stay and dance, we'd love to see the moves, getting down. And thank you all for a wonderful, wonderful, enjoyable evening. Thank you so much.
Well, that was very nice of Chris to compliment me on my precision on time. My wife actually has another word for it, but that's something I would repeat on stage. I would like to, one more time, recognize our event sponsors and table sponsors. Recology, Santa Barbara Bank and Trust, Heritage Bank of Commerce, Pinnacle Bank, and our table sponsors, Abacus Bookkeeping Consultants, Verado Services, and Morgan Hill Historical Society. Please give them a round of applause. And I'm going to allow you guys to take a look at those wonderful centerpieces that you have on your table, and just encourage yourself to participate in this raffle. At 9 o'clock, I'll be pulling a number for those centerpieces, but in the meantime, Mama Mia's will be serving a wonderful dessert for you to enjoy. Thank you for coming to the event.